Ascot, bathed in sunshine. And now these four landors will turn at the Golden Gates and turn down the straight mile as the day really now has its curtain raiser. And just look at that, hardly a cloud in the sky as the Windsor Greys lead the royal carriage, with Her Majesty joined by the Duke of York, by Sheikh Issa bin Salman Al Khalifa, and by Sir Nicholas Bacon. Queen really enjoying the week, and now today wearing a Stuart Parvin pink self-checked tweed edge-to-edge coat worn with a printed silk dress with a drop waist and pleated skirt in shades of lilac and pink, and the hat is by Rachel Trevor Morgan, so often the royal choice for a hat, in cinnamon adorned with flowers to match the dress. And as you look at the Queen and you look at the Duke of York, you think of a very famous picture of those two here at Ascot. Yes, it was 5 years ago, 2013, when the Duke of York had to be summoned from the Royal Box to present the Gold Cup to his mother after that unforgettable afternoon when estimates struck gold. Sheikh Issa bin Salman Al Khalifa is the Crown Prince of Bahrain, and also in the front carriage is Sir Nicholas Bacon, who's a former page of honour to the Queen. He's a philanthropist, and he's the president of the Royal Horticultural Society, and I'm told his specialist subject is beekeeping. And the crowd's coming out even way down at the 6 furlong pole today, the biggest crowd of the week gathered here, and absolutely no surprise why. Fabulous racing and fabulous weather, although I suspect the date of Thursday, the 21st of June, has been in many diaries since they left 12 months ago. The Windsor Greys leading the four carriages. In the second carriage, Princess Royal with her husband, Vice Admiral Sir Tim Lawrence, and the two daughters of the Duke of York. They'll both be making presentations later, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, who will be wed just across the park in St George's Chapel, Windsor, to Jack Brooksbank in October. Great supporters of Ascot, both Prince Andrew's daughters, and also showing off their fashion tastes as well. Princess Anne, of course, distinguished equestrian rider, International Olympic Committee member, and rider of a winner here at Ascot back in 1987. And there are the two, Beatrice and Eugenie. They'll both be in the winners' enclosure later, making presentations. Her Majesty, of course, presents the Gold Cup. She gives the Gold Cup, and she will make that presentation. Into the third carriage, as this procession makes its way down, you have on the far side the Duke of Gloucester, his wife Biggie opposite him, and nearest us is David Lindley, the Earl of Snowdon, Queen's nephew, accompanied by his wife Serena. As the procession reaches the area where there are even more people, I don't think I've ever seen the vantage points gone so early. This is something that everybody wants to be a part of, and everybody wants to get a good view of, and mention of the horses and the horsemen in this heat as well. Another look at the third carriage. There is quite a breeze blowing, as you can see. Duchess of Gloucester with the green hat. And Serena, Countess of Snowdon, nearest us. David and Serena have 2 children. Of course, the Queen is their great aunt. Their daughter Margarita was a bridesmaid at the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's wedding, and Charles, their son, is now a page of honour to Her Majesty the Queen. And in the 4th carriage, Sir Marcus and Lady O'Lone. Sir Marcus is the Queen's land agent at Sandringham. And Sarah Troughton and her husband Peter. Sarah is the Lord Lieutenant of Wiltshire. It's actually a cousin of the Queen on the Bowes-Lyons side of the family, and for 10 years was the lady-in-waiting to the Duchess of Kent. So a huge crowd enjoying this very special moment. Pictures to treasure will be going all the way around the world, that's for sure. I don't know where they left their lunch. They'll probably find it later, as they will try and find the winner of the first. But Ladies' Day is always a day alongside Saturday when, of course, there's a younger crowd that come to Royal Ascot, where everybody's enthusiasm is so total. As the Ascot Landauers, one of which was, of course, used to transport Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, and his new wife around Windsor after their wedding, now make their way towards the area where the most people are situated. And the national anthem will be played by the Household Cavalry Band. Major Craig Hallett is their director of music. And the village on the inside equally packed. This is one very special sight, and for those people who've come here for the first time ever, it really is an occasion to savour. Terrific reception, and another look at the royal outfit. Pink is the description as the Landauers now turn off the course. Massive crowd both sides of the straight. Makes it really feel like an arena. It's terrific atmosphere, and there was for about half an hour as people waited for this. And the Windsor Greys leading the Sovereign's Landau. The other 3 carriages led by the Cleveland Bays, who were a well-known breed back in the 1700s and were in danger of extinction at one time. But the Queen, of course, is a terrific breeder of horses as well as an owner. One of those who made sure that the breed survived and flourished. And as they make the turn, they'll go under the boards where the list of Gold Cup winners here at Ascot is shown. Master Jackie won it back in 1807, carrying 6 stone 12 and beat 3 runners. We have 9 today, and we have the outstanding championship stayers race of the year. There you can see the boards. The other one is for the summer championship race, the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Stakes. And now the outriders turn right, so everybody in this huge bowl paddock will get as good a view as Johnny Weatherby, who is the chairman of Ascot and also Her Majesty's representative here, and the welcoming party take their positions in front of the weighing room to greet her. Great cheers. I was talking to a couple of American people earlier, and they'd come all the way for the pageantry. They said they couldn't believe that this was the curtain raiser to a race meeting. The Duke of York with Sheikh Issa bin Salman Al Khalifa and Sir Nicholas Bacon in the front carriage, as the horses turn. The Windsor Greys, who live at the Royal Mews at Windsor, so they're just down the road. They'll go back for some well-earned TLC to be prepared for day 4 tomorrow. And hats off as the principal guest and the landlord and her guests arrive. The Windsor Greys have been a part in their own right of this very special event. Princess Royal, nearest us, with the 2 daughters of the Duke of York and her husband Tim Lawrence, and the 3rd carriage. And in the paddock, of course, there is a statue of the greatest Gold Cup winner of them all, Yates, who won 4 in a row from 2006 to 2009. France have had 15 winners since World War II, Ireland 11, both represented strongly in today's renewal of the meeting's blue ribbon race. Johnny Weatherby greets Her Majesty. Sir Francis Brooke on the receiving line. And on the left-hand end of the receiving line is Nick Smith, the Director of Racing Communications, who's travelled the world again to bring the overseas runners to these 5 days. The carriages make their way out. The traffic is flowing freely on the A329, but they'll go back through the park and back to Windsor. And they'll do it all again tomorrow. And good to see that Her Majesty will have another runner here tomorrow. Elector runs for her in the King Edward VII Stakes on what is Commonwealth Day. Lots of High Commissioners will be here tomorrow. And of course the Queen, as head of the Commonwealth, cherishes that role so much. So one last look at that royal outfit. Johnny Weatherby with the Queen. And they're about to, I think, make their way up into the royal box. But yesterday, of course, Her Majesty stayed to have a look at the runners in the first. There's her racing manager, John Warren, on the left. Remember him from the estimate footage. It's amazing to think, was it really 5 years ago that they had to make sure the roof was still screwed on? Those incredible scenes here. Also on Ladies' Day, where of course the chief supporting races for fillies, the Ribblesdale Stakes, the Queen enjoying the sunshine like the rest of us here. The weather gods have dealt a wonderful hand to Ascot. Few of us can remember the soakings of Ascot's past, believe you me. But for all of us now, as we salute Her Majesty and her guests, the clock ticks around about a quarter of an hour now to the Norfolk Stakes, which opens Gold Cup Day here at Ascot.